Good evening, everybody. It's Friday. Welcome to the Sulk stream. I'm your host, the incredible Sulk. Again and again and again and again, it's me. I hope you guys are having a good week. End of the week, weekend start. You know how Fridays go. We keep them real loose. We don't have too much of a plan, but we do. Tonight we're talking about Reddit murders and Reddit being creepy. And who's surprised by that? Who's shocked? Is it really that shocking? No, not at all. So we're just going to go ahead and jump right in. So I hope you guys are ready. Get comfy and get nice and cozy. And grab a nice bottle of beer or whatever you want to do. It's Friday. I don't care. You do you. Let's just chill out and have a good time. Anyways, if you're working, keep working. If you are driving, please continue to drive safely. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Help me out at ko-fi.com/sulkstream. And yeah. Anyways, I'm the Incredible Sulk. This is the Sulk stream. This is called Reddit is the most evil platform. Enjoy.
In June 2025, a young woman named Michaela Rains was found dead at her home in Faribault, Minnesota.
I know this story. I know the Fox story. We recently did something on the Fox story. But okay, let's see where this is going.
She was 30 years old. She had a husband, a 4-year-old daughter, and more than 2.
Is this narrated by Caleb from that Money Show?
4 million subscribers who watched her videos online because she did something genuinely beautiful with her life.
It sounds like the guy, Caleb Hammer? It sounds like Caleb Hammer.
Rescued foxes.
Hi, Finnegan.
I would like a baby fox.
Good boy. Were you trying to take me with you, huh? You gonna take me down into your fox den? You happy boy. I love you so much. And you're so cute, and you're the best Finnegan Fox ever.
She had found a nonprofit.
Sounds like him, doesn't it? It really sounds a lot like him.
Save a Fox back in 2017 when she was just 20 years old, pulling domesticated foxes off fur farms and giving them a second life. 2 of her foxes, Finnegan and Dixie, had gone viral in their own right. One went.
We haven't done the thing where I spend 20 minutes trying to get my audio right. So should we do that? Should I just start twisting knobs and get? Do you want to do that? I feel like it's a tradition in the Sulk stream. If I just start twisting knobs and pressing buttons and stuff like that. No, I don't. I'm not going to pretend I know what I'm doing here.
So viral that the video...
Get that out of your mind. Get that out of your mind. I don't know what's going on here. Get used to it.
Game Overwatch 2 used the sounds of her foxes in its design.
Never played it.
She was as wholesome as the internet gets.
Forever alone.
She wasn't a controversial figure at all.
People just come in and say, John. Yeah, what? Yes.
She wasn't a politician.
Hi, I'm here. Like I am every night.
She wasn't some celebrity calling us.
What's up?
She was a woman who loved animals and rescued hundreds of them. Her husband, Ethan, announced her death in a YouTube video just a few...
Okay, I won't make fun of him for crying, but come on, bro. Okay, I get it. You loved her, and she's like dead and shit.
Days later, and he said she had died by suicide.
But a couple days ago, Michaela Rains passed away.
You guys only see what you see from a social media perspective, and I work so much that the time I actually get to spend with my animals is time.
Where's Frozen Asian? Not on my show. Has he ever been on this show? Frozen has never been on this show. And okay, I'll level with you guys. I'll be completely honest where Frozen Asian is. We got rid of him because he's I don't know. Yeah, there. I don't know. He's gone. He's gone forever. So say goodbye, or don't. I don't think anybody would care.
Time I spend recording my time with them, which really actually just takes away the moment.
I know, he's just gone forever. He's disappeared, and the world has moved on. No candlelight vigil or anything like that. Just Frozen is finito.
Because I have to be so focused on recording the moment so that everyone else can see it. So that we can get donations.
That's the way he would have wanted it to. Just absolutely no fanfare, nothing like that. Just moving on. Oh, Frozen's gone. Is he dead? Man, nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Actually get to
He's gone, though.
have the good moments with them anymore.
And then he said something.
We sent him to go live on a farm upstate with a bunch of other Koreans. It's not as pleasant as it sounds. It's loud. Everyone's playing StarCraft.
That sent a shockwave through the internet.
Wait, he's not Korean, is he?
He blamed Reddit. For years, he said, a group of people had been targeting Michaela through Reddit snark subreddits that were dedicated.
Okay, he's Filipino, so he's living in the big dirt floor palace in the sky.
Entirely to mocking her. Her voice, her
He's in the tin roof shanty in the sky.
appearance, her methods. They spread false claims that she was abusing the very animals she devoted her life to saving. They accused her of harvesting fox fur when she was simply offering jars of naturally shed fur as a fundraiser. They zoomed into her videos frame by frame, looking for evidence of cruelty. And when they didn't find any,
Yellow's yellow, Korean, Japanese, fucking Filipino. I don't think the Japanese, or the Koreans, or even some of the Chinese, yes. But like the Filipinos are more, they're the Guatemalans of Asians. Not held in high esteem, you know?
Michaela had autism, depression, and borderline
He is Asian, but there's like 11 different kinds. I know, it's confusing.
and personality disorder. She felt every single word of it. She pushed through for years anyway, saving hundreds more animals, being a mother, being a wife. And then one
I bet look, I understand she's dead and shit like that, and so I kind of feel bad about saying this. But I bet her pussy stink.
day, she couldn't push through it anymore.
I understand that's not what I should be focusing on right now, but like, she's a redhead and she spends all day with animals.
More than 23,000 people signed a petition demanding Reddit
Tell me I'm
snark
wrong, right? Tell me I'm wrong.
communities. But Reddit's official response was clinical. They pointed out the snark subreddit had only 28 members at the time, and they eventually banned it after the petition gained enough media pressure. 28
John, that was the most out-of-pocket thing I've ever heard. Was it wrong? Am I wrong? I mean, I'm wrong for saying that, yes. But am I factually incorrect? Probably not.
members, 23,000
I understand she's dead, and I hope she rests in peace. But that pussy's stanky.
people demanding a response, and Reddit's first instinct was to minimize it. Kayla Rains is not the only person this has happened to. She's not even the most extreme case of what Reddit has done to real people.
Just saying, anyway, it smells like the inside of a gerbil cage. It's
just the most recent, the most heartbreaking, and the one that finally...
Rhea for 5, she says, John, she's literally dead. 16. Okay, fine, 16. Let's see. Does her pussy stink? It's like Family Feud. It's not. All right, well, you didn't win, but yeah, it's still technically true.
finally made mainstream news.
We're back with the death of a YouTube star with millions of followers. She was just 31. Her story raising new awareness about the
Well, her dead pussy smells for sure, whatever's left of it. It's probably all gnawed on by foxes and stuff. I don't know the exact circumstances or anything like that. And like, why would the fox go for that first? Probably because it smells like fish.
dangers of online harassment.
Fox eat fish, right?
Over the last 2 decades, Reddit has gone from a freewheeling college experiment into one of the most visited websites on the planet, and simultaneously one of the most politically homogeneous, ideologically policed, and demonstratively harmful social media environments ever built.
Reddit is classic, but he hit the nail on the head. I mean, that was an accurate description of Reddit for sure.
Generated $2.2 billion in revenue in 2020.
What, Rhea? Rhea's got a problem with the things I say on my show, but she shows up night after night. And she's like, John, no! John, no! Yes, Rhea. Yes.
It has over 100
They called her Star-Kissed because her pussy smelled like tuna.
121 million daily active users. Its CEO was paid $193 million.
It was but she was like, okay, that's not that bad.
And peer-reviewed academic
She was
research
into it. She
analyzing
rolled
more
with
than
it.
600 million comments concluded that the platform published 112 times more left-leaning political content than right-leaning content.
As
Yet
we all,
called it
Rhea says because she loves the cult. Yeah, as we all do. We all love the cult. We all love ourselves. We love ourselves.
neutral. So how did this happen? How did a website that once called itself the front page of the internet become this? Let's talk about it.
So, how'd she die? Oh,
Reddit was born on June 23, 2005. Two University of Virginia roommates, Steve Huffman and Alexis Ohanian, had gone to a lecture in Boston given by Paul Graham, the famous startup investor behind Y Combinator. Graham turned them away at first.
I don't know what Y Combinator is.
The idea they pitched him, a food ordering app, was garbage. But he liked the guys. He told them to build something else, something simpler. He told them to build the front page of the internet. They got $100,000 in seed funding and got to work. The concept was almost comically simple. Aggregate links from around the web, let users vote on them with upvotes and downvotes, and surface the best content to the top. A pure democracy of the internet, at least in theory. They even seeded the early site with fake accounts to make it look less empty. And over
Oh, yeah. I'm glad that's over. I'm glad there's no longer bots and fake accounts all over Reddit. I'm glad that's over. Now it's a true democracy filled with like scientists. They all think they're brilliant. And they're fucking idiots.
November 2005, a digital prodigy named
I'm not saying Twitter isn't filled with idiots because it absolutely is, but that's just the nature of the internet. But the thing about Reddit is they stink with like holier than now than thou. They constantly gas themselves up and say they're like the most enlightened group of people on the internet. It's
Aaron
crazy
Schwartz,
to see.
a 19-year-old who had already co-authored the RSS Standard and Creative Commons, merged his startup with Reddit and joined the team. Unfortunately, Aaron
Look at that look at that gentleman. Holy crap. Hold on. Look at this one. This is like what? All right. So before Schmeagol found the ring, he's hanging out in New York with these nerds. He's gonna, I mean, it looks like he was eating raw fish, like smacking a fish on a rock. That's mean. I don't know why I'm being so mean to him. But it's because you're different. That's why.
Aaron Schwartz's story
At least I'm honest. At least I'm honest about it. I'm making fun of you because you're different.
is one of the most tragic in the history of the internet, and Reddit has largely tried to ignore its complicated relationship with him. Schwartz was one of the most gifted computer scientists of his generation.
Prime locker stuffing? Yeah, exactly.
It was also a fierce
Oh, yeah. You can fit like 2 or 3 of them in there.
believer
For
in
sure.
the free flow of information. The idea that knowledge locked behind paywalls and institutional barriers was a form of institutional theft, and that the internet should be a force for radical openness. It was also massively depressed and deeply troubled, and the US government's decision to pursue a felony case against him for downloading academic papers from the MIT network eventually became too much. Aaron Schwartz died by suicide in January of 2013.
Right.
13 at the age of 26.
A co-founder of this
Right.
social...
Well, right, though. I think it's suspicious how many people are offing themselves these days. Aren't a bunch of, like, UFO researchers and, like, very prominent scientists offing themselves these days? Like, is it really that common? I don't know. Why? Especially if you have like tons of money. I'm sure he had tons of money. Why? I mean, I get the on surface reasons like, oh, shit sucks and it's all gay and retarded. So I might as well throw myself off a roof.
news and entertainment website Reddit has been found dead. Police say 26-year-old Aaron Schwartz
NASA
killed himself
scientist?
yesterday in his Brooklyn apartment.
And there's something deeply ironic about the fact that the platform he helped build
NASA scientists are being killed? Oh, no, they're offing themselves, though. Or disappearing. Or getting in very mysterious car explosions.
in its earliest days would later become one of the internet's most effective
Yes, cold fission scientists are being found dead at an alarming rate. Yeah, well, that doesn't really surprise. Like, the energy industry is how the entire world is controlled, right? The petrodollar controls the world, right? We have tons of debt based in that. That's why we have to go to war with like Iran and Venezuela and stuff like that, because if other countries start trading oil in like other currencies, the petrodollar is going to lose its power, and then we can't borrow against it anymore. And then we have to pay back $40 trillion. And we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing none of that shit. And yeah, a cold fission, if that were to be cracked, or even hot fusion, hot fusion, that would also disrupt the entire system. So that's never happening. There's a reason why we don't go nuclear, right? There's a reason why we don't use nuclear power, even though it is a million times better. It's cleaner, it's safer, it's cheaper. I mean, there's a bunch of federal red tape involved, but that really isn't a thing if you don't make it a thing. You don't have to it doesn't have to take 10 years to get a permit to build a nuclear power plant if you don't want it to. And a lot of people, well, look into Kissinger. Henry Kissinger had a lot to do with getting rid of nuclear power and putting America on the petrodollar. So there's a reason why we take oil from the Middle East and not from America too, because America has a lot of oil, and it's better oil than they have in the Middle East, right? But there's a reason we do that. It's an entire financial system. It's all interconnected. And so that's why we have to go to war constantly. Yeah. It'd be better if we went nuclear, right? Nuclear fission. And then a lot of problems would be solved. Basically overnight. We definitely have the technology. It's not really an issue. There's also another different type. You don't have to use uranium. You can use, what is the other one? I don't know. I'm sure you guys will figure it out.
Of harassment. In October of 2006, just a year after launch, Condé Nast, the publisher of Vogue and Wire, acquired Reddit for somewhere under $20 million.
It's because these scientists always go a step too far. Why not be satisfied with room temp fission? Yeah. It's too cold. That's the problem, right? You just made it a little bit too cold, and that's uncomfortable.
At the time, it seemed
thorium. Thank you, Goofy Boots. It's thorium.
Like a steal for Condé Nast. Within a few
Ardenshire, he beat you to thorium. Yeah, thorium is there's a lot of positives to thorium, so you don't have to use uranium. But the entire reason we use uranium is because we can use the byproduct for weapons, right? Tanks use depleted uranium for like their shells, and nuclear weapons. The same process to make uranium-235. We can use it to make yellow cake uranium to make atom bombs. So yeah, that's why they went with uranium instead of thorium. But thorium is way safer.
few years, it would become clear that they had gotten the deal of a century. Huffman and Ohanian left in 2009, handing the platform over to corporate management. Then in 2008, a quiet, monumental thing happened. Reddit introduced subreddits. Individual communities, each with their own moderators, their own rules, their own culture. It sounds like a minor product update, but it was actually the decision that made Reddit what it is today, for better and for worse. Because subreddits meant that communities could self-segregate entirely.
Like Canada has a bunch of uranium? Well, okay, great. That's cool. I mean, Canada already is property of the United States, so you don't need to... I already said yes, you don't have to keep selling it. We're going to take over Canada. I mean, it is now. Let's be so totally honest. Canada is not going to put up a fight in any... at all. Sorry. No, I'm not sorry. Fuck you.
You didn't just join Reddit. You joined r/gaming or r/politics or r/ask Reddit. You curated your own experience, and the people in charge of each community, they were volunteer moderators, unpaid, anonymous.
Maybe back then, but now like the entire site of Reddit is moderated by like 11 people. Maybe 11. Every large subreddit is moderated by the same people, and they all work together, and they all know what they're supposed to allow and disallow. It's like Wikipedia, right? It's completely corrupted. This isn't news to anybody, though.
Enormous users who applied to run these communities and then wield an enormous power over who got
Canada is retarded and gay. Yeah, that's why we're going to rename it to Big Alaska. It's going to be Big Alaska. Or we're just going to extend Alaska. East. Just going to extend it way east, and then that's just Alaska. Alaska is going to be an enormous state.
speak and what could be said. No salary, no oversight, no accountability. And in the early years, Reddit leaned libertarian. The platform was dominated by tech-savvy, male, young users who prided themselves on their commitment to free speech and its most absolute...
Look, Reddit is the opposite of free speech. I got kicked off of Reddit years ago. Because I answered, like, somebody was like, what does this Warshak look to you? And I was like, it looked like two troons carrying a duffel bag because it had boobs and wieners. And then they're all like, well, you're gone forever. And I was like, okay. Okay.
The ethos, at least publicly, was that any
and I didn't bother to make a new account because why?
Ideas should be allowed to compete. Sunlight was the best disinfectant. The community would vote the garbage down and the truth up. It was naive, and it was wrong, and the evidence of that started accumulating almost immediately. In its earliest years, Reddit hosted some of the darkest corners of the internet without any meaningful intervention. There was
Reddit is mostly porn now, isn't it? Isn't Reddit just mostly porn? r/jailbait. Okay. Okie dokie. Ooh. Oh, but they're about free speech. They're free speech advocates, and they also are super smart. They're a bunch of geniuses over on Reddit. I know Reddit kids IRL, and they're full-grown adults. I just call them Reddit kids because they're fucking childish.
Jailbait, a community
like I'm on Reddit, and their fucking walls filled with Funko Pops. You got like a bunch of like Overwatch posters. Very familiar with the term Rule 34.
Community dedicated to posting sexualized images.
Extremely familiar.
Some minors. It ran openly on the platform for years before it was finally.
It's meth-fueled porn.
Banned in 2011, and only after CNN's Anderson Cooper ran a segment on it.
Well, tonight you're about to meet one of the biggest trolls on the internet, reviled for his.
Thank you. No, you're not talking about me.
Pornographic posts. He's speaking out tonight in his first television interview.
So that's what it took. Not a policy from the company or a moral reckoning. It was national.
That is Caleb Hammer. That's got to be Caleb Hammer. Hold on, I gotta look. This has got to be Caleb Hammer. I don't know. It doesn't tell me. It's not like a credits. Download DollarWise. DollarWise, isn't that Caleb Hammer's? That's. Get your own Hammer financial score right here. Get your own Hammer financial score. It's Caleb Hammer. Yep. Nailed it. Social Observer for $20. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. And he's got a link. Hola, Senor Cult Leader. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you, dude. Let's see what this is. What is this? What do you got for me? What is this? A flock of eagles using my religion. Okay. I probably won't get popped for this. Probably, right? I'm not going to get popped for this. I think it is legally distinct enough to actually work.
The more they'll believe, but he is not me. The lengths that I would go to cover up.
I like this song, but it is a weird music video. Like R.E.M. Losing My Religion.
Oh no, I've tweeted too much. It's a setup. It lets me in the White House. That lets me in the White Rose, using my religion, always trying to pull the wool over you. Cause what's a sheep without wool? No, I've tweeted too much, haven't done enough. I thought that never saw you laughing.
Dude, this guy is so creepy. He is so creepy. Can we just have Indians not? That's it. I don't need to say more. I need not say. Can we have Indians not? Can Indians not? Can Indians not? Because, like, look at this. Imagine, like, you wake up in the middle of the night and this shadowy figure is staring. You just see the eyes. I can't even do it, dude. They're popping out of his head.
I thought I saw the lips cry. I think I thought I saw genocide.
Social Observer link will get you popped 8 out of 10 times. Ardenshire, are you here? Can you keep an eye over on YouTube and see if it gets me popped?
Sweet praise be to Allah while I'm practicing Kabbalah on shoes and my redactions. I got them kissing my ass just like I kissed the Wailing Wall.
I don't know. YouTube loves that, dude. They're all like, I don't care. It was kind of similar. It kind of sounded a little bit the same. So we're just going to go ahead and take down your channel completely forever.
Said too much. It's all set up. Tough on crime, except for mine. Inside traded off my tweets. Rules for thee, but not the elites. Secrets.
Okay, that's good. We get the idea. It's good.
Coverage shaming them into it. And then there was r/creep shots, non-consensual photos of women taken in public, shared for the explicit.
Nice. No, not nice. No, not nice. Extremely Reddit behavior. Incredibly Reddit behavior.
Purpose of objectifying them. There was r/beaten women. Became what was
r/beating women. And something fuzzy is coming up. Is it the fappening?
Known as the fappening.
Okay, great.
When a massive cache of stolen, private, nude photographs of female celebrities, including Jennifer Lawrence, was leaked.
Oh, yeah. Her butthole showed up on the internet, right? Don't tell me that was an accident. Come on, don't tell me that your butthole accidentally ended up on the internet. Really? Come on.
Leaked online. Reddit did not just host some of it. Entire communities were built around it.
Break in a case involving a massive invasion of privacy for some big stars, including Jennifer Lawrence and Kate Upton. Hackers broke into
Kate Upton.
their accounts, stole nude pictures, and then leaked them.
Kate Upton was super hot for like 2 or 3 summers, and then she disappeared. What happened to her? Did she get not hot anymore? Did she have kids or something? I imagine that's what happened. But oh my god, yeah. Oh.
More than 100 of Hollywood's leading ladies' accounts allegedly accessed, photos stolen and leaked onto underground message boards all over the internet Sunday night.
Millions of users consumed stolen intimate images of real people.
YouTube is gay? Yeah, I don't know if you, I don't think they would consider that an insult. They'd be like, yeah, we're gay. So you can say YouTube is gay and it's fine, but you just can't say gay is bad. Or you can't say any of the fun words.
Reddit eventually took the content down, but only after...
The Goofy Boot says, oh yeah, Kate's tits are nice. Thank you, Goofy.
Days of it circulating.
Thank you, Goofy. I don't know why I found that funny. It's just, as a matter of fact, Kate's tits are swell. I think those are nice tits. There's no excitement behind it. It's just like, yeah, that's a fact. I've noticed that that's a fact. Wow, did you see them? Wow. Whoo. Thanks, Goof.
Freely, and only after enormous public pressure, and only after significant legal threats.
Kate Upton married Justin Verlander and became a housewife. Good for her. Good.
Awesome. The most chilling story from this era is what happened in April of 2013 in the immediate aftermath of the Boston Marathon bombing. A terrorist attack that killed 3 people and injured hundreds more. In the days after the bombing, Reddit used...
Muslims. Muslims did that.
Users created a subreddit called r/find Boston bombers, the explicit goal of which was to crowdsource the identification of the attackers through photos taken at the scene. The motivation was...
Here's the thing about the internet. The internet can crack a case. They can solve crimes, dude. Like, Don't Fuck with Cats. Have you ever seen that? It is fascinating. These people just sit on their computers all day and do 10 times what any police department or the FBI could ever dream up. Like, if you gave the information to the internet about the Epstein files, like the actual, the internet would easily crack the case in no time. The FBI already knows everyone who's involved with that and shit like that, and they'll never release that. You're never going to get that. We're never going to get the Epstein files. It'll be never, ever, ever. Maybe in like 50 or 100 years, but who knows? Who knows? But in our lifetime, while they're still alive, no, it's never going to be the thing.
In a distorted way, understandable. People were terrified and furious, and they wanted justice. What they did instead was weaponize the mob. A
MLB pitcher going to be a Hall of Famer when he retires? Cool. That's awesome.
College student named Sunil Tripathi had gone missing in March of that year. His family was already living in a nightmare, and then the Reddit mob zeroed in on him on completely false information. Thousands of users became convinced that he was one of the bombers. His name and photos spread across Reddit, across the internet, across a news broadcast, and his family, already desperate and searching for their missing son, was suddenly bombarded with threats, accusations, and targeted harassment from tens of thousands of strangers who were certain they had cracked the case.
This last month has changed our lives forever, and we hope it will change yours too. Take care of one another, lend your hand, be gentle.
He never bombed.
And he's white, based as fuck, based.
Anything. He was already dead when Reddit decided he was a terrorist. He had died by suicide weeks earlier, and his body was later found in the Providence River.
Wait, so what? Wait, he was already dead when he was confused. He was already dead when they were all like, "That's the guy. Let's harass his family," even though his family doesn't know he's dead yet. They're looking for their son, but he's dead. Reddit, classic Reddit. That's classic Reddit. Man, all right. Thank you for the sub. Appreciate that.
Reddit publicly apologized for what its general manager called a, quote, witch hunt. The people who carried out this harassment were not bad actors who had infiltrated Reddit. They were...
It really depends on what you mean by bad actors. An infiltrated Reddit is not really that you just go on Reddit. You don't have to infiltrate Reddit. You make an account and you go on Reddit and then you're in. It's not like hacking or like trying to sneak into like what was the stonemasons? Whatever. It's not sneaking into anything. You just have to go on Reddit. And most of them are bots and the rest are feds. Right? There is a subsect of real people who sit in their basements and get fatter and fatter and fatter. And those are the targets, right? Those are the people you radicalize. But there is a lot of feds and there is a lot of bots.
Everyday Reddit users doing what Reddit's structure encouraged them to do. Pile on together in a shared community, vote each other's confidence up, and build a consensus that became self-reinforcing regardless of whether it had any connection to reality. The machine was working exactly as designed. By 2015, Reddit had grown into one of the most visited websites in the world. It also had a serious public relations problem. The same
that's what I'm talking about. The fat people in their basement they have long hair and they just get fatter and fatter and fatter. And they're all like, I don't need my dick. I'm not using it anyway. So they saw it off with like a rusty, I don't know, something rusty. And, or maybe they're nice and clean and just fucking chop it off with a scalpel. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But it's gone. Like they were using it, but it's gone now. And then they watch porn on Reddit. What a nightmare existence. What a nightmare existence. I mean, I'm not claiming to be like mentally healthy, right? But I'm doing a lot better than basically everybody who frequents Reddit. I'm doing a lot better than those people. You know, am I perfect? Of course not. Of course not. There's always room for improvement. But at least I'm not cutting off of my dick, right? At least I'm not cutting my own dick off and then installing boobs, and then walking around being like, nobody, I'm fooling everybody here. They don't even know I'm a dude. Everyone around there's like, what is that smell? Social, thank you for 5 subs. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Platform that hosted r/science and r/history and r/personal finance also hosted communities dedicated to fat shaming, race baiting, and raw hatred. The ads weren't selling well, and that's fair. Brands didn't want their products appearing next to what Reddit allowed.
No John L. coming soon. My name, John. You can't go with Jan? Can't go with Jan? It would be easier, right? You think I'd be a cute Jan? Or Sarah? I'm Sarah. Oh my God. No.
Out to fester. Something had to change. Steve Huffman had not come back yet.
No,
Reddit's interim
sir.
CEO at the time was a woman named Ellen Pao, a former venture capital executive who had become famous for a high-profile gender discrimination lawsuit against her former employer, Kleiner Perkins.
One
I hope her husband's name was Kung.
woman is taking on gender discrimination
Kung Pao.
in the workplace with a
And they named their kid Chicken.
$16 million lawsuit. Ellen Pao says she was denied a promotion because she couldn't break into the boys' club of the tech world. But her former company says she just didn't deserve it.
And we got Juju Chang. It's a fun name. Hey, Juju. Juju Chang.
Deserve it.
This subject matter can be hard to digest, but for most Americans, their personal financial situation is the
I
hardest.
used to work with a girl who spelled her name J-N-E-L. Janelle? Janelle? Because if somebody spelled their... If I saw that and I was like calling roll, I would be like, is Nell here? I would assume the J is silent. Is that a silent J?
Subject to approach and manage, but with the Dollarwise budgeting app, you can finally take control, and since there's a free trial, you can see for yourself, get a full picture, automate your budget, get back on corporate authority would define the next decade of Reddit's existence in ways that nobody fully anticipated at the time. Huffman came back and tried to thread a very
ugly,
difficult needle. He needed to clean the platform up enough for advertisers, but he couldn't do it so aggressively that he triggered another
looking better, pulling it together, bud.
Revolt, and he kept making mistakes.
Gotta
In
glow
November
up.
2016, one of the most bizarre and telling moments in Reddit's corporate history occurred. Huffman, whose username on the site was u/spez, secretly
Oh, I've heard of that. I've heard of him.
edited comments that users on r/the_Donald community had made. The users
Okay, so the Donald on Reddit used to be the cool place where like all the funny memes came out of, right? Because like most of Reddit, the memes were just hot trash. They were just hot trash. But like the Donald actually had good memes coming out of it. And most of the memes that were coming out of Reddit came out of the Donald, but they got rid of it because the memes were too fire. And everyone got pretty, you know how Reddit is.
had been posting comments critical of him, including variations of the phrase, fuck.
So this is Caleb? Okay, I thought it sounded like him. Yeah, it's definitely Caleb. It's definitely Caleb.
u/spez. So he edited the comments, changing the usernames in them to the names of the subreddit's own moderators, so it looked like the users were insulting their own leaders instead of him. He did it covertly, without any announcement and without any disclosure.
Bug-eyed. Bug-eyed ugly. Weak chin. Other things.
He only admitted it afterward when users noticed, calling it, in his words, trolling the trolls. He posted a self-deprecating thread about it.
Well, it's not trolling, you're impersonating. That's impersonating. It's different.
And apologized. But that showed that the person in charge of deciding what speech was acceptable on the platform had personally manipulated speech on the platform and laughed it off. The trust that eroded that day would never fully come back. And for years afterward, Reddit users would sign off posts with edit spez as a standing protest. It became a part of the language on the platform. To understand what Reddit became politically,
So what that thing was? Okay, so what this thing is there was like a thing on Reddit where every user got to pick a color of a pixel, right? And so people would band together and make like an American flag, or like there's turkey, there's other things in here, all kinds of characters and weird shit. People would just make their own subreddit and be like, okay, you only got to change the color every day, I think, right? And so people would get together, thousands of people would get together and say, hey, let's make this over in this corner. And so this is just what happened. Millions of people got together and made little pictures all over the map, and there would be battles of people that wanted to like overtake other people's space. And so there would be like clan wars of people being like, no, it's a Canadian flag. No, it's an American flag. And they would go back and forth. But Reddit, being Reddit, decided to cheat and just change the pixels themselves to what they felt like. All the moderators and stuff like that, they didn't have to wait a day. They could just change all the pixels themselves. And so that became a big scandal. Another scandal with, I forgot what this was called, but it was very interesting.
Edit Spez as a standing protest. It became a part of the language on the platform. To understand what Reddit became politically, you have to understand the mechanics. It wasn't a conspiracy. Nobody sat in a room and decided to make Reddit a left-wing echo chamber. It emerged.
I disagree with that. I think, I completely disagree. It was run by the CIA or the Mossad or one of those agencies, and they very intentionally, just like they did with Hollywood, decided to make it a extremely left-wing echo chamber and radicalize the people inside of those into being trans or to being school shooters or to being like addicted to pornography or stuff like that. Absolutely. Some guy behind closed doors, a group of people were like, we're going to do this to poison the minds of young people and the impressionable. Yes. Yeah, that was actually a real thing.
Systematically, structurally, inevitably from the design of the platform itself. Starting with the voting system. Every post, every comment gets upvoted or downvoted by the community. Content that the majority agrees with rises.
Ghislaine Maxwell was a mod on default subs. Well.
Content that the majority disagrees with gets buried, sometimes below the default threshold, so you literally cannot see it unless you manually expand the thread. In a politically homogeneous community, this means that the minority views effectively do not exist. They're not banned, they're just made invisible.
They are banned. They are banned. I got banned. People like me got banned. Don't say made invisible, say banned.
Now layer on the karma system. Your karma score is the accumulation of all your upvotes across the platform. It functions as social currency. It feels good when it goes up, and
except for you can't pay for anything. You have to have a certain amount of karma to get into certain subreddits, but you can't like pay for anything, so it's not currency per se, but it is like a record of your history on Reddit. And I think I had a lot of karma too, because I would crack jokes and people would like the jokes. It's just when I gave my opinion, and you guys know my opinion. Do you think it works well on Reddit?
Feels bad when it goes down. So over time, this creates a powerful, invincible incentive. Post what you know the community will agree with, and you'll be rewarded. Post something that challenges the consensus, and you will be punished. Yeah. And then there's the volunteer moderators, which is probably the most important factor in how
much can I say here?
Reddit became what it is. Reddit's moderation is overwhelmingly performed not by employees, but by unpaid volunteers. At any given time, a relatively small number of what's called power mods, individual users who moderate dozens or even hundreds of subreddits simultaneously, control a massive portion of the platform's content. Before Reddit introduced caps on this practice, some single user...
John Reddit Fsler confirmed. No, I got kicked off years ago, like 5 years ago. I got kicked off and I didn't go back.
Moderated over 200 different subreddits. A handful of people accountable to nobody with total control over what millions of users could and could not say across a huge swath of the platform. These moderators do not represent the average Reddit user. They are the people passionate enough about moderating that they volunteer to do it for free at scale. And the people passionate enough to moderate at that scale tend to have strong, consistent political commitments. The University of Michigan's Ross School of Business published a study in 2024 analyzing more than 600 million Reddit comments. The findings were unambiguous. Moderators removed comments whose political orientation was opposite to their own significantly more than comments aligned with their views.
Yeah, obviously. The more concerning thing is AI is largely trained off of Reddit. Whoever made that decision is fucking stupid or politically motivated or societally and culturally motivated. More of that. Yeah, it is this is the new weaponry, right? This is World War III. It's not like grenades and guns and their bombs and their bombs and their guns. In your head, I am so dying. Okay. No, it's psychological. It is narrative driven. It's trying to get you the enemy to cut their own dick off and not reproduce and die out naturally. This is fifth generational warfare. This is what World War III looks like. There are drones, yeah, in the more hot zones, but this is the main front. Reddit is the main front. And they're the bad guys. They're the bad guys.
Research concluded plainly that the bias in moderation creates echo chambers.
They're known as Reddit mods are known as power bottoms. I don't think they can generate any power. I don't think they get out of their chair. I don't think they have the core strength.
Now add demographics. A consistent Pew Research survey trend shows that Reddit news consumers skew approximately 47% liberal versus 13%.
Thank you, Renee. Somebody
conservative. The platform self-selects for young, urban, educated, left-leaning users,
Hey,
particularly
Jess.
in the United States.
We were just singing the Cranberries here. You missed it.
As the platform grew, this demographic tilt became
No, you didn't.
self-reinforcing.
You're right there.
Conservative users felt less welcome. Many left. Those who stayed learned to moderate their language to survive. The communities were more homogeneous.
Moderate their language. Just say censor. Censor. Moderate your language. So moderate your opinions. Moderate your feelings and emotions. Your ideas. Moderate that. Let's call it moderation instead of straight up censorship, which is exactly what it is. It's censorship.
Yes. The moderation became more aggressive against
censorship.
The remaining dissent, and the cycle continued. The result, by the mid-2020s, is a platform where independent content analysis of major subreddits found that approximately
The ROTC Reddit mod is alright, it's familiar human.
99.1%
I bet he's huge.
of top posters in political communities favored left-leaning perspectives, and the contrast with other platforms is stark. After Elon Musk bought Twitter and rebranded it to X in 2022, that platform went in precisely the opposite direction. It reduced...
If I had the money, I would buy Reddit, and I would, I would just nuke that shit. I would just fucking burn it to the ground, and I'd be like, yep, I did good today. I did good work.
Moderation. It reinstalled...
It would be replaced by something even gayer, yeah, but it's still... It would be satisfying.
Banned accounts. Now, you can agree or disagree with those choices. The point is that Reddit and X have now landed at essentially opposite poles of the content moderation and free speech spectrum. One is a largely unrestricted free-for-all. The other is a tightly controlled environment where the consensus is enforced not by an algorithm, but by thousands of volunteer ideological enforcers at...
Thousands? Maybe a handful. 10, 11.
Scale every day. In January of 2025, over 100 Reddit communities banned users from posting links from X entirely.
Whoa! Interesting.
Moderators in communities like r/technology and r/world news began automatically removing any link that pointed to X. The stated justification was fighting misinformation.
But first, oddly enough, not links that point directly to pornography. Porn sites. Not that. That's perfectly fine. But going over to X, whoa there, buddy. Whoa. Now going to blacked.com, that's boosted, right? That's pinned. Pinned by the mod. Be like, have you seen this shit? It's so hot.
A leaked moderator chat log showed that many of the people making these...
You think I'm joking? I'm not joking.
decisions openly described Elon Musk as a fascist and acknowledged the ban was ideological rather than practical. Reddit's official policy technically prohibits this kind of selective blocking, but it enforced nothing. The ban stood. And in February 2025, a subreddit called r/whitepeopletwitter, a community with millions of members, was temporarily suspended for 72
millions of members, 920,000 subs.
2 hours after posts appeared calling for physical violence against employees of the Department of Government Efficiency, including comments like "time to hunt" and direct calls for people to be shot. Elon Musk,
sounds like Reddit,
whose companies were being targeted by those posts, flagged them on X. Reddit suspended the community. 2 days later, they brought it back. The community had millions of members and was considered a mainstream Reddit space. It had hosted explicit calls for violence, but the suspension lasted only 72 hours. Compare that to r/TheDonald, a subreddit with around 800,000 members at its peak, which Reddit quarantined in 2019 and ultimately banned in 2020 after a handful of posts that included inflammatory rhetoric. The community was gone, permanently. And the contrast tells you everything you need to know about how rules are applied, depending on which direction the mob is pointing. While all of this was playing out...
Well, it doesn't really seem like the front page of the internet. If it bans, it's more popular, right? I mean, like, it seems more like a niche political website than the front page of the internet. Do a lot of people go on Reddit? I mean, I know they do. There must be a lot, yeah.
Culturally, Reddit was quietly becoming one of the most valuable companies in the tech industry, and the way it got there tells its own story. For most of its early existence, Reddit was not a particularly profitable business. It burned through money. It was more of a cultural institution than a functioning company. That began to change around 2021 and accelerated dramatically over the following 4 years. In 2021, Reddit generated $485 million in revenue. In 2022, $667 million. 2023, $804 million. 2024, $1.3 billion. And in 2025, $2.2 billion.
That's suspicious.
A 69% year.
That is suspicious. That's suspicious. That's suspicious. I got banned around here. And then they're all like, oh, John's not here anymore. Boop.
Over year increase. The fourth quarter of 2025 alone generated $726 million in revenue. These are extraordinary numbers for a platform that does not charge its users a dime to participate. And the majority of that revenue comes from advertising, as it does on most platforms. But the number that really...
Well, you can also buy little rewards and give people badges and stuff like that. Thank you for the gold, kind stranger. But gold means nothing. I think gold means you get Reddit Premium for a month or something. It's stupid.
It explains Reddit's sudden explosive growth is a different.
That's a huge jump. That's a huge, extremely suspicious jump. Extremely suspicious.
In February of 2024, Reddit announced a deal with Google worth approximately $60 million per year to license its real-time user content for training Google's AI models. Around the time, Reddit struck a separate deal with OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, to license its data for similar purposes. Reddit also deals with several other AI companies under similar arrangements.
So Elon Musk uses, he owns X, right? And he creates Grok. But Grok is largely trained on Reddit too. Why is Grok also trained on Reddit when he has this plethora of data he can use from X? Am I incorrect about that? Does he use X data or does he use Reddit data? I think he uses Reddit data.
Artificial intelligence is actual intelligence. And that's what you find on Reddit.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about, right? They gas themselves up and think they're all fucking geniuses, but the dumbest people on Earth are on Reddit. The most easily manipulatable people on the planet are on Reddit.
This AI data licensing became, almost overnight, one of the most significant growth drivers in the company's history. So for 20 years, Reddit's unpaid volunteer users have been generating billions of posts and comments, real human language, and real human conversations on essentially every topic imaginable. And that data is extraordinarily valuable for training large language models. The users who generated it received nothing. The moderators who managed it received nothing. Reddit, which provided the platform and retained the data, received the money. It sold its users' words for tens of millions of dollars per year and cut none of them in on it. Reddit went public on the New York Stock Exchange and...
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. X isn't doing that. X is at least paying its creators. Reddit doesn't pay anybody anything. Reddit pays nobody anything.
In March of 2024, under the ticker symbol RDDT, it IPO'd at roughly $34 per share. By 2025, the stock had peaked somewhere in the range of $270 to $280 per share, an extraordinary run. By March of 2026, it had pulled back to around $132 per share, still representing an enormous return from its IPO price, even amid broader market volatility. The company announced a $1 billion share buyback program. Steve Huffman, the CEO, who once secretly edited users' posts to protest his own ego, was compensated approximately $193 million in 2020.
Just so if I decided to sell my soul and prey upon the ignorant, go to Reddit, check. I mean, yeah. But you'd have to own Reddit, right? I mean, I'm doing that here. I'm preying upon the ignorant.
24. In a year,
give me money.
Where Reddit stock ran up
give me money, cult members.
IPO.
I feel like until Elon bought Twitter, all these media sites were footnotes. It's clearly supported by you said money laundering, and yes, yeah, he's probably exactly correct. Yeah, he's 100% correct.
In AI data deals, the man who runs the platform was paid $193 million. His platform's moderation is largely performed by unpaid volunteers. His platform's content is created entirely by unpaid users. He was paid $193 million. And there was a moment in 2023 that briefly threatened all of this. Reddit announced it would dramatically increase the prices it charged developers to access its API, its application programming interface, meaning the technical gateway that third-party apps use to connect to Reddit's data. This was explicitly designed to kill those third-party apps before the IPO because Reddit wanted to control its own ecosystem and capture the value of its data rather than let it flow to outside developers. Several popular third-party Reddit clients, Apollo, Reddit is Fun, announced they would be forced to shut down as a result. And the response from Reddit's users was the largest coordinated protest in the platform's history. More than 8,000 subreddits went dark, making themselves private and inaccessible in a mass blackout. It was a genuine show of force, and for a few days, huge portions of Reddit was simply not working. Huffman's response was to tell a journalist that the protesters were not the intended audience for the changes, and that the protesters' decision to go dark would not impact the company's plans. He compared moderators who opposed him to a landlord who couldn't be removed and replaced. The protest lasted about 2 weeks. Reddit didn't budge. The third-party apps shut down. The IPO proceeded, and the stock ran up, and the moderators who had organized the largest protest in Reddit's history went back to moderating for free. It was one of the clearest demonstrations of the power dynamic that defines Reddit in 2025.
Okay, I think they may have replaced all the
community that
moderators.
Believes it runs the platform, overseen.
Because I've heard stories of like moderators being replaced. Like a moderator will start a community, and like if it gets big, they get replaced without their say-so, right? They're just like, you've been removed as a moderator, and then somebody else has been placed in there.
By a corporation that knows it does. Now, the most disturbing thing about Reddit is not its politics. It's what its structure does to individual human beings. Snark subreddits are communities built around sustained, organized mockery of a specific person or group. They operate under a veneer of accountability, the idea that they exist to hold public figures to account, to call out bad behavior, to provide a place for critical discussion. But in practice, there's something closer to organized harassment infrastructure. The largest and most established one.
Hi, Elk Slayer.
Ones target celebrities, influencers, and reality TV personalities.
I don't know why he calls me daddy. Cult daddy? Am I cult daddy?
r/Fomois and r/.
Okay.
/Domois, Snark communities dedicated to individual small creators, YouTubers, streamers, animal rescuers, operate at a very different scale of power.
Yeah, well, where did this, how does this chick fall into the mix, right? How does she fall into the mix?
Power asymmetry. A celebrity with a team of PR professionals and millions of followers has some structural protection against a Reddit community mocking them. A 30-year-old woman in rural Minnesota who runs a fox sanctuary does not. Michaela Raines was not powerful. She was a person who...
Wait, okay, so she got bullied online? Then leave. Then leave. Then leave. Then leave. If you can't handle being called like gay or retarded online, which I am, every day, on a daily basis, every single day. You know how many people have told me to kill myself? Do you know? So many. Oh my God, so many. But I don't it's just like, yeah. I pissed that one off too. Oh, well. So you're actually going through with it and you're like, well, this person, I Suck Donkey Dicks 98 says I should kill myself, and it got like 30 upvotes, so I'm just gonna go out back and but what about I Suck Donkey Dicks?
Loved animals and shared that love on the internet. The subreddit built to target her, Save a Fox Snark.
Are you still talking about this dead bitch and her smelly pussy? Follow her example, fag. See? I told you.
Not large. According to Reddit's own statement, it had only 28 active...
Dan Snot says, I just never take you seriously, John. I'm going to fight you, Dan. I'm going to fight you.
...members at the time of her death. But for someone with autism...
I'm going to fight you, Dan.
...and borderline personality disorder who felt every word directed towards her, 28 people coordinating to spread false claims about animal abuse and post mocking content about her appearance and mental health was enough. Her husband, Ethan, described performing CPR on her for 15 minutes before paramedics arrived.
It was just, her head was gone. It was a shotgun, right? It's just blowing air down her neck. Oh my God, John, you're going to hell, bro.
Right. He said in his video,
if you only have negative garbage to say, just shut up.
Chat. I see a lot of negativity in this chat, specifically directed towards me. Tejas.
After her death, when the petition
Dan Snot, nobody cares what you do. Carry on.
Reached 23,000 signatures in mainstream news.
Carry on. Just keep wallowing in your pitiful life.
News coverage forced Reddit to engage. The platform banned the subreddit after.
Sorry, Dan.
When it didn't matter anymore. The Snark subreddit had existed for over a year. Reddit had not touched it. Only public pressure after a death generated a response. Take a moment and get some free, easy money. With a Chime checking account and my link, you can get $350.
Bro, this is the second ad. This is the second ad, bro.
Conditions where mobs easily form, where anonymity removes accountability.
Why is this crying bitching about stuff people say? What did his wife off herself or something? You're going to hell, Tails. I'll see you there.
System rewards engagement regardless of whether that engagement is constructive or cruel, and where volunteer moderators with no professional training or oversight are the only thing standing between.
Dan's not giving me death or telling me to KYS. That's cool. That's cool, buddy. That's cool. I know Dan. I met Dan Snot IRL. I gave him a hug. For like 4 seconds. It was a good long hug. I nuzzled. I'm like, I'm here for you. Still, this is what he puts in my chat. My life is great, F slur. Why don't you go to Camp KYS? I think somebody needs another hug.
Between the community and its worst impulses. And often,
you need another cult daddy hug?
Those moderators themselves are the worst impulse. There is an academic literature building around this. Research has been consistently documenting what platform researchers called brigading, a coordinated invasion of a space.
I get it. John can't afford camp. You know how you can do the whole KYS staycation? Yeah, no, where no one finds your body for like a month. And so just like, it's just surrounded by flies and stuff like that. It sounds so cozy.
By users from another community
so
to mass
cozy.
downvote, harass, or overwhelm dissenting voices. Reddit's structure makes brigading easy. You post a link in one community, pointing to the content in another community, and your members flood it.
Sure.
Reddit has rules against this, but its enforcement is inconsistent at best. Reddit likes to present itself as a global community. The reality is somewhat more complicated. As of late 2025, roughly 52% of Reddit's traffic originates in the United States, with Canada around 7%, the United Kingdom at nearly 7%, Australia at about 4%, and Germany at 3%. It is a predominantly English language, predominantly American platform with American political dynamics.
Well, yeah, it's run by the CIA, so why would it need to be? I'm sure German Reddit is like, it's got its own gayness. It's got its own gay stuff. Run by their gay little CIA, whatever it is.
Dynamics dominating its most popular communities, which means that a platform with 100
Camp KYS counselor shirts on the back, it says, just do it, F-slur. Okay, that would be a fucking hard shirt, dude. That would be a hard as fuck shirt, dude. Everyone would be taking pictures of you. You'd be like, dude, look at this shirt. That's a sick shirt. Where do I get that shirt? Sulkstream / bonfire / Sulk, whatever my fucking store's name is. I don't even know. No one's buying shirts, which I get because I don't like push it.
21 daily active users is pushing a very specific.
Somebody make me that shirt. I'll put it on, and then you can buy the shirt.
Political worldview at a very large.
I will do that. Somebody design me the shirt. I will sell it, and then probably somebody's going to get upset by that, and then it'll get taken down, and then I guess my life won't change at all.
Slice of the global internet using platform.
So, yeah.
Internationally, Reddit has a complicated relationship with governments.
Get some slaves and warehouse Sulkstream Sulk screens. Yeah, but where do I get slaves? I don't want the Africans.
It's currently blocked entirely in China, North Korea, and partially blocked in several other countries.
I'll get like Ukrainian slaves. They seem to be pumping out slaves.
In Russia, it was blocked in 2015 over drug-related content and then unblocked. Indonesia blocked it for years due to adult content. In July of 2025, Reddit introduced age verification requirements in some regions in response to increasing regulatory pressure, particularly from European governments. That European pressure is...
Freeside, you have to design the shirt and send it to me in like a JPEG, all right? You can't just give me the idea. Look, I'm inspired all day long. That's not what the problem is. You have to make this, you have to do the work for me, or else it's just not going to get done.
A significant and underreported story. In 2025, the U.S. House Judiciary Committee published...
Orphans need jobs too? Look, if their parents didn't want them, what makes them think I would want them?
A detailed report documenting how the European Union's Digital Services Act, which regulates online speech across the board...
I need loved children. That's who who you kidnap. The one that are already broken inside, that's not fun anymore, right? It's like, oh, this one's not going to suffer. It's just, it lives that life, right? It understands. I need ones that have been loved and like, sang to sleep when they're children and stuff like that, and then disappear them into the night. You guys don't know how to do this at all.
Had been used to pressure American social media platforms to change their global content moderation policies. The Commission's efforts, according to the internal
It's Caleb Hammer. It's not Elijah Schaefer.
Documents subpoenaed from major tech companies were explicitly aimed at suppressing political speech that had threatened established political consensus on issues like immigration. Reddit, along with other major platforms, had adjusted its moderation in response to European pressure, meaning that
Child Soldier Security Services. Right, well, you need a lot of them because they need to like use their little bodies to like stop bullets and stuff.
European regulatory body was shaping
just stack them up
in what an American platform allowed its American users to say.
I'll just have a bulletproof vest made of children. Just walk around with children. All right. Every time one gets shot, I just toss it off, and then there's a fresh one that comes out. Like, seeing light for the first time. It's like a Kleenex tissue. I just pull one off, and then there's another one underneath that. You got to dress in layers. The weather changes pretty quick.
In February of 2019, Chinese company Tencent invested $150 million into Reddit. The investment was technically a minority stake.
Tencent, Tencent, huh? Tencent, the Chinese company owned by the government of China.
And came with no editorial control, but it generated a significant backlash on the platform itself. Users flooded Reddit with posts about Tiananmen Square, Tank Man, and other topics censored in China, essentially stress testing whether the investment had changed anything. It appeared it hadn't, but the question of what compromises come attached to taking money from a company with close ties to the Chinese Communist Party has never fully gone away. The GameStop situation in January of 2021 is one of the most dramatic demonstrations of what Reddit can do when its collective power is pointed in a specific direction. The subreddit r/Wall Street Bets, with millions of members, organized a coordinated campaign to buy shares in struggling video game retailer GameStop, specifically because large institutional hedge funds.
And then Robinhood was like, you know what? This hedge fund is losing too much money, so we're going to stop it. Which is a crime. That's a crime. Robinhood was like, we're going to stop trading because this hedge fund that we're involved with is losing too much money. it shorted GameStop, right? And then when you short a stock, you buy it for a certain amount of, well, you buy it on like a loan, right? And then if it goes down, you can actually sell it back for the same amount of money you bought it at the top. If you know how shorting a stock works. They shorted the stock, and then everyone's like, fuck this company, let's pump GameStop, and it went up. And so the company started losing tons and tons of money. Well, they don't lose money until it actually expires, but so I don't know if they actually lost money. But they were at risk of losing money.
Had shorted the stock, meaning they had bet billions of dollars that the stock price would fall. The Reddit users decided to make those bets fail by...
It's not. It says, I shorted AMC, but it was too late, only made a little bit of money. Yeah.
Driving the price up through collective buying. And it worked. GameStop's stock went from roughly $20 a share to nearly $500 in a matter of days. Several major hedge funds lost billions of dollars. Retail investors, ordinary people on Reddit made fortunes. At least temporarily. The financial establishment was blindsided. Congressional hearings were held. It was one of the most entertaining financial stories of the decade, but it also demonstrated something important. Reddit is capable of coordinated collecting.
It's not a crime because you're retarded if you use Robinhood. You don't actually own the securities on Robinhood. You use real trading platform. You don't own the securities on Robinhood. You don't. You do not. Really? Interesting. Well, then, yeah. I don't use Robinhood. But that is an interesting thing.
Action at massive scale. That power is extraordinary when it is pointed at an exploitative financial institution. It is terrifying when it's pointed at a person. The r/place experiment is another window into how Reddit's political
r/place, that's what it was, yeah.
Play out in real time. Every few years, Reddit opens a giant shared canvas where any user can place a single colored pixel every few minutes, collaborating with others to create images. The result is a chaotic, fascinating, deeply revealing snapshot of what Reddit's communities care about and how they fight for territory. Over multiple iterations, the most revealing battles on r/place have been explicitly political, organized campaigns by communities to draw and defend competing imagery, with political factions fighting pixel by pixel. It is politics as performance art. It is also a perfect model for how Reddit's political dynamics work everywhere else. Organized communities competing for dominance, with the most cohesive and motivated groups winning. Reddit's financial position in early 2026 is strong. Revenue is growing at nearly 70% year over year. Daily active users have crossed 121 million and show no sign of slowing. The AI data licensing deals with Google and OpenAI represent a revenue stream with essentially no marginal cost. Reddit collects the money without spending anything to generate the content being licensed. The company has announced a $1 billion share buyback, signaling confidence in its financial trajectory. By every traditional business metric, Reddit is succeeding. The cultural trajectory is harder to assess. Reddit's dominance of certain online niches, technical question answering, niche hobbies, local community, or
that's the only reason they were able to pull that off on their customers, which, okay, so I bet a lot of people they were like, what? I don't actually own the stock? No, it's not. No. How'd they do that? Like, how did they? So it's a gambling website then. That's what it was. It was a gambling website. So how is that cool? Dude, these large fucking corporations they're like, screw the law. And the law is like, yeah, it's okay. They don't have to do it because they make a lot of money. So, yeah. But fuck all you people.
Organizing is essentially unchallenged.
That's
when
crazy.
When you search for honest reviews of a product or a genuine answer to a specific question, Reddit results are frequently the most useful thing you can find. The platform has real value in a large number of specific contexts, and that value is not going away. But the trust problems are real and structural. Alternative platforms have repeatedly attempted to fill the space that Reddit leaves for users who feel unwelcome. Vote, the most prominent alternative, was founded specifically to serve as a free speech Reddit competitor. It attracted an enormous amount of the worst content imaginable, including communities that have been banned from Reddit for genuine hate speech, and eventually collapsed under its own toxicity in 2020. Lemmy, a decentralized alternative built on open source software, gained traction after the 2023 API protests but remains a niche product with a fraction of Reddit's scale. The pattern suggests that Reddit's position is structurally durable. The alternatives that try to be freer tend to attract the worst users and implode, while the alternatives that try to be more restrained do not offer enough difference to peel away the mainstream. The more serious threats to Reddit come from two directions simultaneously. The first is regulatory. Section 230, the law that provides social media platforms broad immunity from liability for user-generated content, is increasingly under scrutiny from—
This is insanity, modern day highway robbery right in front of your face. I mean, yeah, it's stealing from people. It's just straight up. They're all like, we know you're doing this, so no.
political parties for different reasons. If Congress modifies Section 230 to hold platforms liable for harassment campaigns or political discrimination, Reddit's moderation practices and its tolerance to snark communities become legal liabilities rather than policy choices. Lawsuits from families of harassment victims, people like Michaela Rains, are a real possibility. The second threat is user fatigue. Reddit's political environment is genuinely exhausting for anyone who does not already agree with the prevailing consensus. The relentless downvoting of dissent, the permanent banning of large right-leaning communities, the subreddits that block X links out of ideological solidarity rather than practical necessity, all of this creates a platform that a substantial portion of the population finds hostile. As competing platforms develop, as X stabilizes,
anti-Semitism was not my intention.
As newer communities find their footing.
Well, was it? I mean, yeah, no, he was just like, yeah, you could post whatever you want, and then a lot of people got pretty anti-Semitic.
The question is whether Reddit's ideological
That's not his intention, but that's kind of just how it rolled.
Drives away enough users to matter financially. So far, the answer is no, and whether that remains true over the next decade is genuinely uncertain. The AI question may be the most significant of all. Reddit's value as an AI training data source is enormous right now because it represents 2 decades of authentic, unfiltered human conversation.
Not authentic.
Scale. But AI systems—
And not unfiltered either. It's heavily filtered and it's almost all fake.
That are trained on Reddit's data are inheriting Reddit's biases. The same 112:1 ratio of left-leaning to right-leaning content, the same structure that amplified consensus and buried dissent. The AI systems of the future are being shaped, in part, by the echo chambers of the present. That is a feedback loop with consequences that nobody has fully mapped out yet. And then there is the question of what Reddit's existence does to the broader information environment. Reddit is not just a platform where people go to talk. It is a platform that Google, the dominant search engine on the planet, treats as a highly authoritative source. When you search for a medical question, a product review, a news event, Reddit results—
It's like cut off your dick, KYS, or something like that, right? Because that's what they do, right? Oh, you have a headache? Well, hop into the chamber and then press the button, and then you're gonna— no more headache. Well, you'll be dead, but no more headache, right? Oh, you having a problem with you feel depressed? Have you thought about changing your gender? No.
Appear near the top of your search results. Reddit's content shapes what information millions of people find when they go looking for answers. A platform with a 99.1% left-leaning political tilt on its major political subreddits is not just an echo chamber. It is an input into the information infrastructure that everyone relies on. There are paths forward that Reddit's leadership could choose. They could introduce meaningful structural reforms, capping moderator power more aggressively, building genuine independent oversight into the moderation process, creating mechanisms for diverse political viewpoints to survive in major communities. Some researchers have argued for algorithmic changes that would prevent the most extreme forms of vote manipulation and brigading. Others have called for Reddit to pay its moderators, which would at minimum create accountability as a professional standard for moderation decisions. The company has made small moves in some of these directions.
We can send all mods to Camp KYS, yeah.
It has not made the fundamental reforms that would change—
They're probably booked up, but Space Clear is quick.
The underlying architecture. And the reason is obvious. The current architecture works financially. The echo chambers generate engagement. The outrage generates upvotes. The controversy generates traffic. The traffic generates advertising revenue. The advertising revenue funds the platform. The data from all of it gets sold to AI companies for tens of millions of dollars per year. Changing the architecture would mean disrupting the engagement mechanics that make all of this work. And Reddit's leadership has shown repeatedly that when the choice comes down to ethics versus growth, they choose growth. That was true when they left r/jailbait running for years until national
jailbait
TV coverage forced their hand. It was true when they let the Boston Marathon mob run free. It was true when they hosted the Fappening for days before pulling it down. It was true when Huffman secretly edited users' comments and laughed it off. It was true when they dismissed the largest moderated protest in the platform's history as irrelevant to their plans. And it was true when a 30-year-old woman who rescued foxes for a living died. And Reddit's first response to 23,000 people demanding accountability was to note that the subreddit harassing her had only 28 members. Reddit will tell you it's a community.
28 members.
Its CEO will tell you it's
28 people.
Platform built on user empowerment and collective intelligence. Its filings will tell you it's a profitable and growing business. All three of these things are true, but none of them are the whole truth.
It's filled with idiots. It's filled with retards.
It's a platform that built a machine for generating consensus and refusing to take responsibility for what that machine produces. A platform that protected the ideological enforcers who made it hostile to half the political spectrum. A platform that sold its users words for hundreds of millions of dollars without giving those users a cent. A platform that hosts harassment of many creators.
It's my fault that you cooked your oven mitts? Well, that's no problem because I sell Sulk brand oven mitts. Soon I will.
Online and bans those communities when it goes against the creators that support the political opinions of the platform. They call that the front page of the internet. And in a way, it has never been more accurate. Because the internet in 2026 is not what it promised to be in 2005. It promised a democratization of speech. What it delivered, in Reddit's case, is a platform where a small group of volunteer enforcers decides what the democracy is allowed to say. A corporation that profits from the conflict, and real people who pay real prices for what happens when the machine points in their direction. The story of Reddit is still being written, and unfortunately, a few more content creators may die along the way.
Probably. Not me. Not me. Nose goes. Nose goes. The dangers of Airbnb.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing?
Nose
Come
goes.
on down because today we're going to dive deep into the dangers of Airbnbs. Oh.
Not me.
Oh. Summer is the perfect time to take a relaxing vacation.
The Cult of Sulk, fuckable catcher's mitt. Would you guys take like Sulk brand like flashlights, like model on my own anus.
With some friends and family.
I know you would. You guys are sick. You guys are sick.
Nice.
And I have the guy coming tomorrow to take my anus mold. You sickos. $39.99.
No longer do people go to hotels. Now you get to be in someone's home. I don't live there, but you can stay.
But you can't use lube. You have to spit on it.
There if you want. It's pretty much Airbnbs. It's always weird. I went to an Airbnb one time.
Hot Dog says, yes. Finally. God.
And they still had
now I throw away this Oprah Winfrey flashlight. Thunk. Right? Like, damn. That was big. It was tough getting through airport security, right?
Pictures of the family. Well, I remember I messaged it at my house. Because I thought, I was like, did I actually break into the house? Because also, usually when you go to an Airbnb, they have the padlock. Hey, let me know, whatever.
Yeah, I laid them on the burner. I thought I turned it off. They need replacing it.
Right in.
I like how, okay, thank you that you're so invested, you're almost burning your house down.
So I was like,
I appreciate that.
Yep, that's me and my kids.
That's the thing, that's what I bring to the world is mortal danger.
Like
to people, I guess.
Had on the nightstand too by the bed. I like turn around, like put it down.
Did you have this planned already, John? I just assumed there would be a market for it. And I'm right.
I don't want you to look at me while I'm sleeping.
Nod with me. Yes, you're right. Yeah.
Was the whole house just covered head to toe?
That's gross. Where is this?
I was like, almost like, I think that they were just gone for the weekend. They're like, just put the house up for the.
I see.
Maybe you want to take a trip to Cabo or the Cayman Islands, or maybe just a trip to Disneyland. Wherever you're going.
He's right. That's basically what it's like. But Disney World is worse.
You're going to need to find a place to stay. Hotels used to be your only option, but over the years, prices have gone through the roof. But thankfully, there's an alternative. Airbnb. Airbnbs offer more convenient, maybe more reliable places.
I cannot stop dying about knobs at an airport with a Sulkstream flashlight. He's gonna be a vendor, dude. And he's gonna be like, yeah, I just sell them to pay for my own habit. He's sick, dude. He's sick. He's got one installed on his bicycle, right in front of the seat.
To stay for your vacations. From Shrek Swamp to a refurbished missile silo, Airbnb offers unique experiences.
What is this? What is this Airbnb? Is this like a Turkish prison Airbnb? What the fuck is this?
That will enhance your vacation. Please, Daddy, can we stay there? Please. We're staying in the missile silo. You'll like it. However, not everything is created equal because Airbnb operates in a very gray area. Dangerous and disgusting circumstances can still arise, from satanic rituals to gangs thrashing homes to even...
Well, no, you just, I mean, like, you get to pick who rents your Airbnb, right? You just install 1 million cameras and then you're just watching them all the time. That's why you don't stay at an Airbnb in India. Right? They don't have cameras, but they just kind of stay in the walls. Looking at people like that. Hello? Show Bob? Show Bob?
Standoffs inside.
And you're like, what is that smell? My God.
It makes you think Airbnbs are not as safe as you think. So, get ready to book your next vacation as we explore the horrors of Airbnb. Starting with... bad host, which if you've ever gone on Airbnb, there's things that make your...
Can you hear me coming now? Says Hog Dog? How about now? I can't hear it, no. And is Hog Dog in the walls? Just hear like a little, what, a splurt hit the drywall? Is that what it would sound like? What?
Stay look more optimal, like, oh, this is like guest...
Because he keeps real quiet. Right? You got to stay quiet, right? But you can't, it's still going to make that little, it's like when you sneeze real hard and like a booger hits the ground. That's what it's going to sound like.
Favorite. They'll market that if it's been rented a bunch of times. Or there's a thing called Superhost, which I still don't really know what that means. I think it just means it's like a very high-rated host. Very responsive, all that kind of stuff. So a bad host would be whoever you're staying with, not a good guy, not a good woman. And I think that, to be fair, the host of these Airbnbs, if I can be so bold, they can be dicks sometimes. Remember that one time we were in Texas and we stayed at the Airbnb? That bitch left me a 1 star. Because I left a candle. There was like a little bit of candle wax on the counter. She's like, you ruined the countertops. I was like, it's 1 candle. It was like this much. Well, it doesn't matter. Every hotel has a list of basic rules that you're
Towel, big. 80,000. What are these prices? Are these in like rupees? What is
expected
this?
to follow as you stay in the hotel. Airbnb has similar expectations as well. Like, you have to take out the trash, throw the sheets in
the fuck I will.
Washer.
The fuck I will.
Don't light candles on the wood furniture.
I ain't taking out your trash. It's my trash. I'm taking it out. Right? I'm going to come into an Airbnb. I'm going to sleep there. Then I'm going to leave. However I leave it. If you want to keep my deposit, fine. I don't give a shit. Fuck you.
I want to go and burn that fucking place down, dude. Also, too, that's another thing I hate with Airbnb. You know what I like about hotels? I don't give a fuck. The only thing I don't like, they tuck the sheets under the bed.
Yeah, I hate that too.
Don't like that. Here's another thing. If I'm staying at your Airbnb, you come over and take out the fucking trash, dude. If it's an excessive amount, don't get me wrong, you can be like, well, I mean, look what we did. Come on.
They got mad at us too for leaving 1 trash bag.
We DoorDashed McDonald's. There was 1 bag of McDonald's in there. They're like, you didn't even take out the trash. And there's candle wax all over the place. I'm like, why don't you calm the fuck down, Sarah? I'm not gonna say we're out in Texas, but you know who you are, you dirty bitch. I'm gonna go back with a box of matches, and I'm like,
I'm sorry, if you run an Airbnb, you should understand what you're getting yourself into. People are gonna come there and party, right? They're gonna kind of fuck up the place. I wouldn't be an Airbnb host. No, absolutely not. But people who are should understand your house is gonna get kind of fucked up. You got to deal with that, dude. It's like owning a rental car service and being like, why is why is this shit all fucked? Because I rented it and I did whatever I want with it. And yeah.
Like that motherfucker.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Some hosts go overboard after booking an Airbnb. A guest was surprised.
I saw one with a cleaning fee and asked for you to clean up before you leave. Fuck that. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? You want me to like wash the curtains and shit like that? No, you do it. It's you. It's your house. I rented it. It's your house. Fuck your house. I rented it. I'm going, like, me personally, I'm going to be polite as I can because, you know, I understand that, you know, this is not my property. But that's not most people. Most people don't give a fuck. Most people will not give a fuck. No. Live with that. Understand that. You should have some sort of insurance that covers that, right? You have an idea of like what's going to happen. Like hotels have been a thing forever. Just do it the same way they do it. Don't be like, oh, can you fucking vacuum the floors before you leave? No. What? No.
List of additional rules that were hidden on the booking page, because if you also notice, you have to scroll all the way down.
I left my dab torch in their basement. Well, that should pay for it. That should cover it. Like, sorry, I came all over the bathroom mirror and in the ice trays in the freezer, and also a bunch of other spots that I'm going to let you discover on your own. I don't want to spoiler alert, you know. But I left my dab torch down there. Oh, and I broke my bong. 5 stars. 5
That's
stars.
how they use like text descriptions and shit. It's like a YouTube description box. Some of the rules included: you can't stay in the room during.
Why is there cum in the ice trays? Well, it's
the day, Monday through Friday. 9
I wanted to get my girlfriend pregnant, but like on a time release kind of thing.
a.m. and 5 p.m. That's your allotted time. Otherwise, you.
It's complicated. It's actually not complicated at all. You just shove it up there. It's got to be hot outside. Otherwise, she'll complain.
Can't stay in it during the 9 p.m. to 5 p.m. You cannot be in the room. Guests are not allowed to.
They're good when she has a fever. All right,
in the bathroom.
I'll stop. I'm done. Okay.
Sink and will be fined $175 for doing so. I can kind of be on board with that one.
Clogs it up.
I was gonna be like, don't be shaving your dick hair, pussy hair, your beard.
Jerking off all over America is just the perks of the gerb. Hog Dog has a job where he goes around masturbating in strange places, which.
Once you groom yourself before you show up.
No, I think you can shave.
You think that if you sit there, you're like, shaving down there?
I would rather go to a hotel.
To be fair, it's your, well, yeah, the hotel ain't complaining. People coming in with like a dustbin and like a deal. Sweeping up and looking in the sink. Oh, rolling up some toilet paper and like wiping the inner sink. Or if you leave the fridge open, it results in a $50 fine.
How do they know this?
Leaving the ceiling fan or bathroom fan on is a $50 fine as well, and guests are expected to maintain a 6-foot distance from all people in the household at all times. This had to have been a COVID thing, right? If other people are staying in the home, you are not allowed to talk or engage with them in any way. You can't talk to the host unless it's an absolute emergency, which also it's like, what do you mean I can't talk?
An absolute emergency? Yeah, so I'm calling them up, all right. Yeah, so I came in the ice trays. No, it's not an emergency. Well, it depends on what you would consider an emergency. Anyways, the reason I'm calling is, do you have more ice trays? I hung up.
Shocked by how absurd some of these rules were, the guests tried to ask if the rules were negotiable. However, the host freaked out and contacted Airbnb support, claiming she was being blackmailed.
Help, I'm stuck in this Sulk stream fleshlight. It's like I'm really stuck in it, right? I'm like really, and no, I can't make it go soft. It's modeled after John's anus, dude. I can't make it this shit go soft. It's going to be hard while it's in there, all right? That's the, you don't get it. I understand you don't get it, but it's just, look, can you call the fire department or something? I'm in a bind here.
The rats are in my house, are in my walls. Makes me think that she's in the house somewhere. She has that thing where it's like a painting and it's like the eye shift coming down. She's like...
She's probably hiding in the toilet.
Face underneath like that. No, number 2.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I know I only meant to call during emergencies. I am an ant farm enthusiast. And one of my ant farms with 10,000 fire ants seems to have broken inside your Airbnb. Yeah, okay. So you're telling me I'm not going to get the deposit back? Okay, well, I have more ant farms. I'm going to go get them. If I'm paying for it anyway, I'll just break the rest of them in here. Okay, thanks.
Airbnb would support the host.
Just the millions of fire ants. They're crawling all over the walls and stuff like that. I decided to make myself at home.
Tell the guest to stop.
Now, can you pull this fleshlight off of me? It's John's asshole.
Messaging the host or face legal consequences. As a result, the
really made yourself at home.
reservation was canceled without a refund.
Yeah, when I climax, I like to be covered in fire ants. It's a very specific kink.
The guest lost $1,300. They're telling you, box of matches, the place is burning down.
Yeah, a little accident.
Whoopsie. I don't know how the
no, my termite collection. My termites, my precious termites.
A little fire. I don't know. There was a lot of paint thinner in the garage. I think that's why it caused an explosion.
Why did you bring your termite collection? It's just, well, I mean, I take them everywhere. They're my termites. It didn't say no pets. Oh, it did say no pets. Well, do you consider termites a pet? that kind of conversation. And then the fucking, like, the 70-year-old boomer on the other end is just pissed. Right? And get Airbnbs and stuff like that. I outbid a young family to do this, and they're now filled with termites and fucking cum.
Well, some hosts want nothing to do with their...
Serves you right. Serves you right.
Guest. Some become obsessed with every guest that stays. Jay Alley was a super host running a rural vacation spot out in Comfort.
Hog Dog says, just me and my pet come. So your son?
Texas. He had received thousands of positive...
You brought your kid along? That's fine.
Reviews from guests who had stayed and were constantly booked. He's a popular man on Airbnb. Superhost. However, his reputation went down the drain after some
You can
guests made
order
a
termites
sickening
through the mail.
As soon as the couple arrived.
Just to, like, any address you decide. I could just order them and they would go. I could send them to anybody. In an unlabeled box.
Right. Jay said, be comfortable. We don't care if you're in your PJs or nude.
No, my mason jar full of cum. That's a lot, dude. That's like 2 months worth of work. You know, like, oh my God, dude. Like, I broke it and it's all over the place. And I started slipping on it like a cartoon. Whoa. And I had a tray filled with ketchup. And that went everywhere, too. And I just left.
No, seriously, spread.
I just left. Ooh, that was a close one. Oh, well.
Spread out. Look at that big old bed. It's pleather. Already creeped out, the couple began to look around inside the...
It's New Smyrna. New Smyrna Beach.
Property and noticed a padlocked door that had been made to blend into the wall. I don't like that already. Can you imagine seeing a padlocked wall? Like wallpaper or whatever? Is that a padlock on the wall? You just hear, like, behind the wall, you're like, oh.
Not enough, Bhutan. He says, so much cum tonight. Not nearly enough.
Like, just kind of like behind the wall. In addition to...
Is it ever enough? No. Not with that attitude.
Hidden door, one of the renters discovered that a plug-in adapter had a secret hidden camera. The couple quickly left...
Cumburger helper? Why did you say that? Why do you say that?
Airbnb and contacted the police. Following a thorough investigation, police discovered additional hidden cameras.
It made me laugh, so okay, but like...
and confiscated multiple iPhones and laptops on those devices.
Well, where you been, Swift? Where you been? We're talking about cum. I'm making a fleshlight modeled on my anus that Knobs Dog is fucking buying out. It's just like, it's selling out. I can't produce it fast enough. Each one has my own little distinct shapings.
1,000 photos of all previous guests. Pictures of people undressing, having sex, and just staying in the home were all found on these hard drives.
It's not cum wave. It's not cum wave.
There were numerous pictures of children who were staying with their parents. That's definitely a dude who's just like, diaper change time, that kind of shit. Sick fuck. At the time of his
All
arrest,
starfish all the time.
Jay faced 15
right.
charges of invasive visual recording, and he would take a plea deal
That's right.
that resulted in 9 of the charges being dropped. He would only serve.
I'm making an anus clock that you would like. All right. I mean, that's definitely possible.
1 year.
That's definitely, I can
in
see it.
prison, which I do think.
Right. Each wrinkle is an hour on the clock. It's very specific. That is a symmetrical asshole. That is an impressively symmetrical asshole. It has the 12 lines perfectly spaced apart where it's actually the hour.
Love, dude.
Mm-hmm. I'll have that as a watch, right?
Biggest thing I'm afraid of is that I go.
And then it'd be like, that's an interesting watch. I'm like, yeah, it's my asshole.
Oh, and I'm being.
And people will be like, get out of my house. Get the fuck out of my house.
Recorded.
I used to have a fear as a
Look at the time.
child that
It's a 1/4 hemorrhoid. I guess I gotta go.
there was cameras in the lights. So whenever I was pooping,
Oh, look at that. I got a PayPal.
You're a smart child because I didn't know about this until like way later. So like I'd be like out and about, whatever, spread on the bed, jacking off.
All right, $25 for me, Swift. Thanks, bud.
Ever
Appreciate
taking
that.
like crazy shits and all that.
Did
Now
you
when I'm
say
in the
something?
bathroom, I cover outlets. I do all kinds of stuff. Sometimes
It's
you ever see an
codified.
outlet where you're like, why is that there? These weren't the only guests to experience a nightmare stay. Another.
Swift says, I'm usually at work at this time of day, but glad I managed to finally catch a show live. Much love from Philly. As always, we'd love to have you, but dude.
Unsettling Airbnb
I
encounter.
mean, usually we're going to talk about cum anyway, so.
A couple checked into their LA
Thanks for the $25.
Airbnb looking forward to their vacation. At first, the host seemed hospitable, leaving them a little bottle of wine and a nice note telling them to enjoy their stay. And after going to bed, the couple was awoken by a man screaming and banging on the front door of the house, looking for someone named Kevin. Kevin! Kevin! That would be how fucking scary that would be.
Half past an asshole, quarter till the next asshole. Just, you got to get up at the crack of dawn. Thank you. I understand that wasn't as good of a joke as I thought it would be. I still enjoyed it.
They frantically contacted their landlord, who simply replied, yeah, that was...
I embarrassed myself here. I don't care.
Sorry. Life's too short for me not to give you an explanation. Hold on. This quote is insane. He said, yeah, that was me. Sorry about the confusion. Life's too short for me to give you an explanation. Have a nice time in LA. That's the end of the quote. Quote end, which also I'd be like...
Just says, boys, I swear, a teen walks in, hugs me, and farts on me simultaneously. That's love. That's having sons. Yeah, that's having sons, yeah.
We're leaving. Well,
that's fine. My son does that. He's like 5. He thinks it's hilarious. He thinks he's just farts and butt. He's at that stage where farts and butt, penis, it's super funny to him. And I'm like, bro, come on. Stop. He's like, Dad, look at my butt. Stop, dude. Put some pants on. Put some pants on. That's exactly the tone. He's like, why? I'm like, because you keep putting your butt in my face, dude.
They're just like, all right, let's go to bed. Like, what? The next night, they went to bed after a beach day when a hooded man jumped through their window and laid spread eagle on the floor. The man, whose name's Che, got up and pinned the man to the ground and revealed that it was once again their host.
Nice. Okay.
The police were called and arrived via helicopter.
Does this smell like shit, bro? What?
To take the man away. The police arrived in a helicopter?
Maybe they're on a beach or like on a mountain.
Yeah, maybe. I was thinking he was doing like snow angels on the ground. Kevin! He's not here! I'm Che! Kevin! Apparently, the host was renting the place without his landlord's knowledge. When questioned, the man stated that he was attempting to...
They're proud little crop dusters, aren't they? I don't know. It's just like, he's a dick. I'm raising a dick. I'm like, dude. And he thinks it's hilarious, dude. And then he'll fucking punch me in the nuts. I'm like, whoa! I'm like about to throw up. I'm not kidding. Jess! Because I'm like, I gotta. One time he fucking slapped my nuts and then crab walked out of there. And he's like, "Ma, ma, 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 ma." I'm like, you son of a bitch. But I could see the hilarity in that. That was pretty funny. Like, as a scene, just whap. Ha ha ha. Crab walked out.
Remove the couple due to disputes over cleaning fees. Does any of that make sense?
No. Like, I'm raising this kid. And I'm also like fostering this community as well too. So obviously the common denominator is me. I'm the problem here.
Airbnb agreed to cover the cost of the booking.
I'm not cracking down nearly as hard as I should around here.
And paid an additional $2,500 for their therapy sessions. My God, honestly, the more that we talk about this video, the more I'm just like, Holiday Inn is fine. Holiday Inn is perfectly fine. I've never had any. Well, to be fair, let me tell you, we'll do a motel.
Hog Dog says, twice in my life I have had a female grab my nuts so hard in a crowd to the point I teared up. Still can't make sense. Dude, that shit happens, dude. I don't know what is with women like that, dude. Like, cause that shit, they do that and they're just like, nothing's gonna happen to me. Like, that's sexual assault. They don't care. They do not care. That shit happens, dude. Like, if a guy were to do that, he would be arrested. He would be straight up arrested. But chicks don't give a shit. They'll do that all day long. And what are you going to do? Punch her? You should.
Oh, horror story.
You should. Just fucking one on the chops right there. That would be equal. Yeah.
There's just something about Airbnb that just is a little
women. That's your answer. Yeah, it is women. That's just women.
And that's the uncanny nature of it.
And like, you can't blame them because it's just like they're retarded.
Because I feel like I already shouldn't be here.
So it's like, what if, like, okay, so if like a guy with Down syndrome came up and slapped a chick's ass, it would be the same thing, right? You couldn't look at him, dude. He's just like sitting there eating Nutella out of the thing. Like, this guy slapped your ass. What are you going to do? You going to punch Down syndrome kid? Good. Nah, let him go. He's fine. He's fine. You're not going to teach him a lesson. Look at him. You're going to teach that guy a lesson? That's like the whole issue here. He's probably done it a bunch of times. We're not stop. The same with women. They are the retards of men.
That's like walking to Airbnb, like, oh, it's a nice house. It almost feels like it's like if you got to tour a home that you were wanting to buy.
Big B says, "Nope, punch that chart in the face." Crack. But I bet his face would be hard. I bet like a fucking like Down syndrome dude. Like, I bet his face would be hard for some reason. Like, why is your face so hard? And like, you knock him, and he doesn't even react. He's like, ooh. Right? You're wasting your time. That's all I'm saying. You're wasting your time. It's not going to, oh, I should have thought twice about that. Nah, that ain't going through his fucking head. Grilled cheese sandwiches. That's what's going through his head. It's a waste of time.
I just decided to stay the weekend. Why don't we just feel it out? That kind of thing. But it's just like, it's still someone's living there. See, it's just uncanny. Too uncanny.
No, Jess says, Goofy, I think John is going to start his own Fleshlight line. He's making Knobs or Hog Dog his top salesman. Knob is not going to be a salesman. He's going to be the top customer. And he's not getting a discount. That's, no. He can resell them if he wants. But are you going to buy one off of him?
Yeah, I don't like it. And as horrifying as that incident was, it wasn't the only time guests faced violence from their host. In another shocking case, a woman's stay ended with her being brutally assaulted. In 2017, Sabal Nukumbi.
Sabolba.
I mean, like, when Knob's dog is done with one of those flashlights, it's going to look like it's like an empty helium balloon from like a Macy's Day Parade, you know? Like just a normal one. It's going to be all like prolapsed and stuff. Worn out.
In 2017, a woman and a few friends traveled from South Africa to Amsterdam to attend a friend's art expedition and review their work. At the end of their trip, the group was slow to pack up and leave the Airbnb. The host had messaged them multiple times to leave, but they were still...
The gushy bussy, that's pretty good. The gushy bussy is pretty good.
He's like really rushing off to get out of my
That's a cute name.
house. Is that an Amsterdam accent? Get out of my house. I want you gone. Where's Amsterdam at?
Oh,
It's like,
jeez.
Is it Dutch?
Yeah, it's like Dutch. Get out of my house.
Get out of my house.
The macadamia starfish? Okay.
Right as the woman and her friends were leaving, the host's husband...
Why is it a macadamia? Because it's a hard nut to crack? Is that what you're trying to say? It's not going to be. It's not, you know.
Showed up and got physical. He began
It's going to be an easy nut to bust.
grabbing them
So
and
it's the opposite of the macadamia you see.
shoving them out the door.
Which takes 300 pounds of pressure to actually open a macadamia nut. Little factoid for you.
Telling them it's time to leave. It's time to leave. That's it. Okay. While they were being forcefully removed, the husband began making racist remarks, referring to the guest as "you people" and telling them that this was not Africa. God damn!
Beast! Beast! Oh, beast! Beast!
I guess there's some. I wonder how many hours was it?
I'm thinking it's like 10 minutes.
Yeah, in my mind, it was like
This
an hour.
ain't Africa N-word.
Where they're like, well, sorry, we're running late. In any regard, to show up and just be like, get the hell out of my house. I can't do a Dutch thing. It's going to Indian. The guys tried to tell them that they were leaving, but that wasn't enough. Things escalated when the husband grabbed her and threw her headfirst down the stairs. Once she was at the bottom, he threw her belongings down after her. God damn,
That's funny.
Lord. And there's the footage. Wait, there's footage of her actually being thrown?
Out. Oh my God. Out. Exit. Out now. Oh my God. No.
Out.
That's pretty. She deserved that, though. Let's be super real.
Out now. That seemed a bit fucking excessive, if you ask me.
Nah, she wasn't leaving. It's your property. It's your property. You told her to kindly leave. She refused. You throw her ass down the stairs. She's an intruder at that point. Fucking fair game. If you're in my house and I tell you to leave, you got a split second before I get the gun. Oh, I'm not even kidding. If I tell you to leave, which I won't do, I'll be a gracious host. I will. But if I get to the point where I tell you to leave, and not ask you to leave, tell you to leave, and you don't fucking skedaddle, you're in mortal danger, all right? This is my house, N-word. Like, shit going to get real fast. What?
Lord. Which, of course, after falling that hard down the stairs, she was knocked unconscious and taken to the hospital. When she woke up, she had a severe concussion and multiple bruises from the fall. Airbnb issued a statement saying that they were appalled by what happened and banned the couple from hosting again. The husband
whatever
faced legal charges, but they were never publicly stated.
No, there's no legal no legal charges at all. If I ask you to leave and you don't leave, then it's game on. It's game on. It is game on. I don't know what country this was in, but in Florida, it's game on. You are officially an intruder at that point. I'm going to fucking kill you.
All you have to do is just be like, oh.
It's not even like up for debate.
That was weird. Right, guys? Can we all agree that was weird? Let's just take a second.
Dancing out that door, skedaddling. Yeah, exactly. Why would you not do that? If somebody asks you to leave their house, you leave that house. Why would you be like, no? To the point where they have to put hands on you. That's insane to me.
Let that sink in. Luckily, that host can no longer rent out their house, so problem solved. Thanks, guys, so much. It's like the amount of people that probably like Superhost getting like physically actually assaulting their guests. It's got to be a lot.
You think the superhosts are doing it?
Maybe not the superhost. I think that was a rare instance of a superhost getting upset.
Yeah, because I guarantee you she absolutely deserved it. She was fucking up the house. She was like, I don't know, maybe she got like her hair relaxer all over the place. I have no idea. But like, and then he was like, this isn't Africa, get out of my house. And then he fucking gave her the old heave-ho, right? Gave her the old heave-ho, which I appreciate.
Those aren't always easy to deal with, but guests can be just as bad, if not worse. It's time we look closer at some of the stories about horrible Airbnb guests. I think that Airbnb brings out the worst in people.
Why do you think that?
I think it's because you get too comfortable. The lack of amenities in a Holiday Inn room, it feels like a prison cell. You don't even want to be there, right? But an Airbnb, when it's like, oh, look at this bed. Oh, like rolling around it and stuff like that. Oh my God. Roll around that.
They're not even that comfortable. I've been to Airbnbs. I like, this bed sucks.
You're like on the couch, you're lounging around, you're watching TV.
Then I was like, I have to bring my own bed bugs? Fine. And they're in a salt shaker. I just kind of dense them around right there, right in the pillowcase. There you go.
Yeah, it's too much. That's where I think that's the delineation, right? Those who live next to Airbnbs already have to deal with a lot of loud guests. And in 2016, Airbnb launched Airbnb Experiences, which allowed...
John, what is the largest animal you have personally killed and how'd you do it? The largest animal I personally killed? Well, like fish, but I've killed snakes. I've killed 6-7 foot snakes. Usually I do it with a shovel. Just pop their heads off. Yeah. I'm not a hunter. I don't go hunting. I've gotten decent sized fish. Like yellow tuna. Got like probably a 20-pound yellow tuna.
Allowed people to rent properties specifically for...
Hog dog, 210-pound salmon shark. Shot in the head 9 times, 9 of them. Damn. That's a big fucking fish.
Parties. What a fucking nightmare. However, the company had not planned for a residential apartment
still want to bite after 9 to the dome?
Converted into a nightclub.
Damn.
In Kai, a 1-bedroom flat was converted into...
Yeah, no, I mean, like in California, we had rattlesnakes, so I had to kill rattlesnakes a lot. I've killed a lot of rattlesnakes. I've killed one with fireworks one time. Just threw a bunch of fireworks at it till it like died.
Nightclub with professional lights and speakers. Neighbors quickly
fuck rattlesnakes, dude. They'll kill you, right? They'll kill you. There's a reason you have to kill them, right? It's a problem.
Complained of the noise as over 200 people packed into
I
the
had
small
one about to break my leg
venue.
thrashing around
and not
on the
only
deck.
Did it feature...
Yeah, dude. What, do you just like fire shots into the boat?
Professional DJ, but it also had bouncers standing outside to ticket guests as they arrived, and even with professional equipment, neighbors claimed, quote, it was horrible music.
Horrible. Oh well, here's my music. Thanks for coming, y'all. Thanks for hanging out and chilling with me tonight. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend and stay strong and be good cult members. Until then, thank you so much for the donuts. I really appreciate it. I hope to see you guys all back on Monday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern. If you can make it, I would really appreciate that. Otherwise, have a great weekend, guys. Stay safe. Get out there and make your dreams come true. Tell people about the Sulk cult. And, drink a lot of water, get a good night's sleep, and take care of yourselves, because I care about you too. I'll see you guys on Monday. Love you. Good night.
I'm an incredible soul, unhinged and enraged like a bulldog's fierce growl. I'm spitting fire, burning through these trees, questioning the world, unraveling conspiracies. Talking about Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster 2, government lies.